Done.
Goedenavond allemaal. Het spijt mij dat ik zal geen Nederlands spreken. Mijn naam is Aghyad AlSherfawi. Ik kom uit Syrië en ik ben 24 jaar oud. Today, I'm going to tell you a story. A story of a person who had hope, faith, safety, and future. And one day, and just like this, he lost it all. But a few years later, he found them out in another place, with another society, in another community. This is me, and this is my story. And it's a pleasure for me to share it with all of you tonight. I was 20 years old, living a normal life, having education, studying, having family, friends, car, work, everything I need. Everything I need to put my stamp in the world. Everything I need to build a real life for myself. And I was that close to my dream. It was only a matter of time. It was only 2 years to reach my dream and build my own consultancy. I was studying business administration and project management, and in the meantime, I was also working as a self-development trainer because I needed experience to put in my work to grow it. It was 2011 when something strange starts in our country. We didn't understand really what was happening because it was 100 kilometers away from my country, my hoofdstad, Damascus. But I was trying to keep going forward. But after 4 years of living in a war, nothing changed. I was seeing every day ladies, women, children, young people, old people dying for no reason. I was every day seeing friends of mine going to army or traveling just to keep themselves safe. And from that point, I asked myself, who's going to be next? Me? My family? My close friends? I should to take step. I should to do something to change the reality even when one person is not enough to stop a war. At least I should to save my life. From there, I thought, am I going to be like 100,000 of people before me who they just leave their country? Indeed, what another choice I can have? As a Syrian, nobody's accepting me just because I'm having a Syrian passport. In a few weeks, I prepared everything. I stopped my study, I stopped my work, and I was saying goodbye to the close friends, and finally, my family. After 20 years, I needed to say goodbye to my family. I still remember that day when I was just standing on the door and looking to my family, my grandfather, grandmother, uncle, and mother. And they were knowing that somehow this is not the right choice, because if I'm leaving, there's nothing guaranteeing that I'm going to stay alive. But also, if I'm staying, that also is not an option for me to stay alive between all of this. But with the pain in my heart and tears in my eyes, I needed to say goodbye, my family. And I still remember my mother praying for me and asking God for mercy. She was saying, my son, my only son, maybe I will see you never again. Maybe we will never meet again. But God bless you, and I hope that you will stay always safe. Indeed, in 2014, I left my country, and I start a hell of journey which is unexpected for me. I went from Syria to Lebanon, and then to Algeria, and then to Libya. Believe me when I'm saying this to you now, and I'm not the only one. If we knew what was going to happen on the way, we would never leave our country. Because we know that we could be dead anytime in our country, but that feeling we are having while traveling in boats, that is something totally different. I stayed for 18 days in Libya with a mafia, with the people who, human beings, are only worth for them €100. Just imagine a person who would kill you for €100. This is what a human being is worth? But we had no other choice. We needed to arrive to Europe, and there's no other choice to take. We were waiting till that moment when they came and they say, okay, today you are going on the boat, you're going to travel to Europe. We were so excited, not because we are going into the water, but because we are just going to get done out of that period that we have lived in Libya. We walk in the sea, we jump on a small boat, and then it goes a few miles, and then we get into a bigger boat. A small boat containing 350 people inside. It's something you cannot imagine. It's something similar to what you are seeing every day on the news, on the TV. We start a hell of a journey in the sea for more than 18 hours. For more than 18 hours in the sea, we don't have food, we don't have drink, we're not able to do anything, not even going to toilet. With the young people, with the children, old people, it was a real disaster. After 10 hours from being in the sea, the engine from the boat has stopped working, and people get panic and they start to ask themselves, what is happening? What is going to be next? Are we going to die? We stayed in the sea for more than 8 hours without having a proper working boat. But we had that Thureya that we can call, and we start calling the Italian army to tell them where we are, what is the points that we are in the sea. I still remember that day when people saw the death. You know, when you are in a war, you are able to die because a rocket could fall in our scenario, or a person could shoot you. But when you are in the middle of the sea, it's different. When you don't have anything could give you any hope, it's totally different. When the death is controlling you and you're not able to do anything, you are just waiting till your time comes. That is the baddest scenario of my whole trip. After a few hours, we saw a light coming from a distance, and we started taking our phones, giving the SOS signs. We are here, we are here. We thought that we are imagining that someone is coming. We thought that we are going crazy. But still, people had hope that we are going to stay alive. Indeed, an army big ship has came and they rescued us. In that moment, I realized that this is not the end. We have something to give to the world. And that's why there's something out there. He, she, it, there's a power who want us to stay alive and show our value. And I can admit with all of those people who have my possibilities. As a person, as a millennial, I have studied before, I'm talking English, and I'm able to do something. Where are the countries that I'm able to give a value in? Indeed, Netherlands was one of those countries on the list, and I was so stunned about it. I still remember I take the train from Italy to Holland, and I then arrived to Amsterdam station. And I stepped into Amsterdam and I was like, oh God, look at this. Those are the people who I'm going to live with. This is the society that I'm going to spend. I don't know how much of the life that I'm going to spend in the Netherlands, but I was so excited about it. In life, just the thing I need. My self-actualization in this society. As every person does, I went to the school and I said, yes, I want to learn Dutch. This is the first thing will let me get into those people's heart. I start learning Dutch. It was going really well. I started talking Dutch with the people, and especially Groningen, international city, a lot of students, which makes me more effective in the society if who are living in a host country. And this is not what we want, not even what a host country wants. You want us to integrate with you. And this is what I was trying to look for. So I said, okay, what I can do? I start going to
like bars, meeting people, talk to people. It was going really great. When I started to introduce myself to the people, they really liked me. And I mean, as a self-development trainer, I'm so into the people. They like me as a person. But that moment, when they start asking me, waar kom je vandaan? The moment of the truth. But I mean, proudly I would say, ik kom out Syria, I'm Syrian. But they goes like, oh, okay, keep a distance. Why? What I have done? I'm not a terrorist, I'm not an alien, I didn't came from Pluto. I'm just a human being. We were just friends, we were just talking a few minutes ago. Why you are doing this to me? Did you ever see something out of me? The problem is stereotyping and generalizing those cases that's happening in the East about Arabic people. People who have a beard, for example, they maybe sometimes are scary to other people. But this is not the case. It's not about the outside. It's about the value, the inside. And I mean, in all societies, we do have good people, we do have bad people. It's existed everywhere. And I just want my right to integrate, to be friend of everyone. That depressed me, that people are not accepting me just because I'm a Syrian. And this is not what I have left my country for. This is not what I have left my family, my work, my study, my friends, everything I built for 20 years old, for 20 years. Just for being rejected? This was not the case. I really get depressed after that, and I ask myself, am I going to stay in a society which is generalizing me, stereotyping me, and rejecting me just because of nationality I have? It's not my choice to be a Syrian, but I'm proud of. I didn't do anything wrong to the society, but still, the media, the news, everything they are showing, it's not the truth. It's not the reality. It's not us. As I said, of course, there's always bad people, but I can guarantee I'm not one of them. I told myself, okay, Aghyad, you need to take another step. And it would be not staying in this society, because I would get worse if I stayed. And I was that close to just book my ticket and go back to my home country. I said that dying in my home country would be better than staying in a society which is rejecting me. Or, there were a lot of good people who I met, and they accepted me, but the problem is, because they felt... And when I was going to book my ticket, I remember that day on the boat, when we were that close to death. And I was asking myself again, am I just going to suffer? Am I going to leave again after building? No. No, I'm not going to do that. For those people who are not accepting me, if they accept me or not, if they want me or not, I'm going to stay here. And I'm going to show the value that I'm able to add to the society as a human being, as a person who had a second chance in life. Indeed, it's something natural. When you are positive, when you are thinking positive, good things comes to you. And after a few days, I have received the post, and I was opening the post, and it goes like, "Dear Mr. AlSherfawi, you have been accepted to continue your study here in the Netherlands." And I was like so excited. What is more than that? My dream of continuing and finishing my study, building my own consultancy. What is more than this? This is what I want. This is my first goal. This has empowered me to go forward and stay and do my best to show who I am and who are my people. I started in Hanze Hogeschool International Business and Management Studies, continuing my study. And in that period, I have met a lot of international people, even Dutch people, German, Ukraine, Russian, a lot of internationals. They like me. They treat me as a friend, as a real friend, because they dealt with me. They saw the reality inside this person. And this was what I wanted. This is the only thing I needed. to belong into a community. After that, in a few period, I met a person via, and I was looking for a job because this is also a need for us. And I show him what are my experiences, what I have studied, what I have worked before, and he saw a value in me. He saw that this person is able to add something. And indeed, I have been hired by Alpha College as an instructor, as a self-development trainer. And I worked there, and even there I made a lot of Dutch colleagues, and they really liked me because, again, they saw the inside. They saw that these things on the TV, on the news, are not the reality. Those are not the same people who they are showing us. After that, in a while, I continued with my study, and I found my way into the employment market in the Netherlands. And today, in 2018, I am a student, I am a founder of my own company, and I'm building my life here in this new society just as a person who belongs to the society, because people start to see my value. And this is what I needed. But what I wanted to share with you tonight, and what I would really appreciate you to do, that I'm not the only scenario in this case. There's millions of people outside of these walls who have the same problems. Those people, if they got the support, the help, the feeling of belonging from the first moment they have entered to the Netherlands, it will be better for us, but also for you. We have a lot to learn from you, because one day we are going back to our country to build it again. And with your experience, we can do that better and faster. But also we have a lot of things that we can share with all of you. And we would like to share it with all of you, to feel like we are completing each other, because together we are better. And I really hope from all of you to appreciate the situation of every refugee, that they didn't have any other choice. But I mean, being a refugee, it's not something we have choose to do. It's something that forced us to leave everything behind and start building something with you. Maybe it's temporary, maybe it's not, but let's leave the reality that we are one. And let's indeed take it to the next level together. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.